Hello everyone, my name is Colleen, and if you're new here, I'm pleased to have you come over here to the channel. If you're a repeat and you've come back again, then welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm still going to share a recipe with you, but I have a little story that goes along with it. So I am going to today make spiced ginger cookies, and I'll tell you all about it as I gather up the ingredients, and I'll see you right back after this. Okay, I think I have everything gathered up here, and I promised you a bit of a story today to go along with the spiced ginger cookies. This is a Christmas cookie we make every single year. In fact, it's not the Christmas season till the cookies have been made. So I this year had the opportunity to sit down over a senior's lunch with a friend of mine. His name is Eddie Legan, and Eddie asked if I would be interested in doing a collaboration with him where I prepared a video with a recipe, and he would put it on his annual Christmas card, a link to my video, and also the recipe for the whatever it was I decided the recipe was going to be, but kind of Christmas centered because, you know, that's the time of the year. And I jumped at the chance to work with Ed because he's a really great guy. He is a member of, or a owner and salesperson for Remax in Golden, BC. And he does great work, and he has helped us with sales in the past. He's also a long-time member of the community, his grandparents and great-grandparents having come into the valley more than 100 years ago, or probably 100 years ago. So, well-bred, wonderful young man. He and his wife, Kaylin, are really active in our community, and we sure appreciate them a lot. Into this bowl, I've got my old tattered recipe. I got this recipe from, she was my neighbor at the time, but still my friend, Sherry Hawkins. And I wish I could tell you how old this recipe is, but it's got to be close to 40 years we've had this recipe. And that's why, you know, it's come out of the book and it's all ratty. But it's those kind of recipes are the ones that win our hearts over and that we keep making year after year after year. So into the bowl I need, I'm making this recipe by half, and I will put the half in the description box below, and you can get it from there as well. So I need 1.5 cups of margarine. I have to keep referring back to the recipe because I'm used to making it as a full batch, but truly we only need it to be a half batch anymore. I don't ever use margarine. I always use butter for everything, but for some reason these cookies don't come out as well. I mean, they're still tasty, but they don't come out as well if I make them with butter. So every year I go and I buy this 1 container of margarine. I use most of it for this cookie recipe, and it just seems the right thing to continue to do. So we also need in here, to get this rolling along, we need 2 cups of sugar. This is just plain white sugar. And as long as I'm in the mood for storytelling, I should tell you that I've had a lot of inquiries about where I got these canisters. I need 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups in, and it's not something you can buy, folks. I found these beautiful canisters. They were this cream color right here. I hope you can see it. And they had big red roses on them. They were in a in a secondhand store, and I thought, I loved the red lids, I loved the big red roses on them, and I brought them home from the secondhand store, and I took the lids off and put the canisters into the dishwasher. And when the canisters came out of the dishwasher, all of the coating that had the big red roses on it had washed away. The lids had stayed red. So I didn't want to now get rid of them, and so I've used them for years like this with no finish on them. As I said, it's not something you can buy. Now I'm going to spend a couple of minutes mixing this butter and sugar together really well. So come back. Here we go. I think we've got the most of that. Reach around and grab the knife that I used to level off the margarine. Let's clean these up a bit. I won't spend an awful lot of time doing that. You don't need to watch me do that. And I'll set this aside. There we go. Now, into this, we're going to add, just going to get out a wooden spoon here. Into this, we're going to add a couple more ingredients. What did I do with that cup measure? I used it. Oh, I could use it again. So here's my half cup measure. I need a half a cup of molasses. And I am using fancy molasses. It has, if I can get into it, it has no preservatives and it's gluten-free. I'm going to start it into here. Now I've got the thing all greasy and it doesn't want to move. Okay, I'm going to get that get the molasses draining into the cup because there's not a lot left in the container, and you know, cooking with molasses, it's very thick, and so I need to get that thinned out. I need 2 eggs, and these are large eggs, and we're going to beat those in. Well, that was a slow, painful process that I didn't make you go along for, but I finally have gotten a half a cup of molasses out of that container. So now I'm going to add it in here into the mixture. So in here we have our margarine and sugar, which we've creamed together, 2 eggs, and now a half a cup of molasses, which gives these cookies that deep, rich flavor. And we're going to mix this up well. I might even bring the, oh no, I think I've got this. Just thinking about bringing the mixer down. I think that this will work. I guess I shouldn't have had the molasses in the refrigerator. Oh well. It won't hurt me to mix, for sure. Okay, I think that is pretty well mixed, and we're ready to add the rest of the ingredients to this bowl. So, we need 4 cups of flour, which seems like a lot, but in the original recipe, it called for 8 cups of flour. That's the double. We do not need that much. We only need 4 cups. So I am going to use my cup. Definitely cut it off. These recipes turn out better when we give them the opportunity to by measuring correctly. 2. 3, 4. So we're done with the flour. Okay, now let's get some of the other ingredients in there. We need half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to measure over here because salt can get away like that. My goodness. We need two teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm using a half spoon measure because it fits inside the jar, so I'm going to do this 4 times. I better make sure I've got half, yeah. 4. We also need some cloves, and cloves can be overpowering. So the recipe calls for, 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to make sure that these are level teaspoons. Where the cinnamon, they were rounded and I didn't mind. But you want to make sure you're not overpowering all the rest of the spices with the cloves. And then we need 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. And I hope I have enough in here. Okay, there we go, 2, 3, 4. And last we need some baking soda. And we need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I'm using the teaspoon because it fits in here. And I'm going to level it off for pretty correct measure. And there, we have all of the ingredients that we need are in there. Now I'm just going to mix them all together. You could sift all the flour and the spices together and then put it in here, but I found it's just as effective to mix it all together. You're going to mix it really well anyway, and you should be able to come out with a good result, even if you don't sift and if you don't mix up the dry ingredients beforehand. At least I've never had a failure doing that anyway. Anyway, it is close. It is getting close to those holidays. We in Canada, today when I went across town, I saw Canada Post pictures outside, so I'm not sure if our packages will all arrive in time for Christmas, but we'll see. We're going to keep optimistic about it, because there's absolutely zero we can do about it if they don't make it. Hopefully you're not in that same situation, and I hope that you're all ready for Christmas. I'm not. I have a list of gifts that I want to give. Among them, to some local seniors that I know. I know I'm a senior too, but they're not in a place where they can bake for themselves any longer. So some of these cookies will go to seniors, and they sure do appreciate them. It's a gift. Giving food is a gift like no other, in my opinion, because generally you make something that the person receiving the gift wouldn't make for themselves. And let's face it, most of us, by the time we've reached the age that I am now, have every knick-knack and goo-gaw that you could possibly want. And so having something useful and tasty, like a homemade hot chocolate mix or a homemade pancake mix or something along that line that requires very little effort, that's a good and useful gift. Okay, so I'm going to put this away. I'm going to tidy up this mess, and we'll get to rolling these and get them ready for the freezer, because we're going to roll them into balls, and then we are going to roll the balls in sugar to give them a really nice finish, and then we're going to put them onto the sheet trays and put them into the deep freeze for or in the fridge for about 20 minutes to firm up. And then they'll go into the oven, which is going to be set at 350 degrees, and they're going to be in there about 10 minutes. So let me clean this up, and I'll be right back. Now, I'm going to use my cookie scoop for this. And if you don't like to get food on your hands, now would be the perfect time to put on a pair of gloves because we're going to roll these balls. And then we're going to go into a bowl of just plain sugar. And we're going to roll them about and set them on the tray and give them a little scooch down, just a little press. A little fly bothering me here. And we're going to repeat this until we have them all made. And I can't remember what the end result was. I know this is many dozens. This still might make, but let's see at the end. I'll let you know. And I will put them about an inch apart. Let's see, hopefully that's going to work. If they're not refrigerated and as soft as the dough is, they tend to spread more. So I'm trying to, by refrigerating them, I'm just trying to firm them up a little bit first. Now, I live in a really wonderful little community. It's called Golden, and we are in the southern interior part of British Columbia in the mountains, and right now we're having some pretty spectacular weather. It hasn't snowed on us yet, and here we are like the 15th of November as I'm making this video. But we know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. And it's warm out though. Our little town has almost 4,000 people, and with the population in the rural area, we come up to around 8,000 people. And I would say it's a pretty tight-knit community. We have our major industry here is, I would say it's probably still the lumbering industry. Logging is big here. We have a big LVL plant, which is laminated veneer that's used for structural beams, and they get sent all over the country, Canada and the United States. And that keeps a lot of loggers in work. And then the truck drivers who have to bring the big loads of logs to the sawmills or to the mill. It keeps them in work. Set this here for the moment while I do the other one too. I'm going to do 2 pans here. I've got 2 pans, so I can do 2 at a time. It also keeps all of the people that are working in the plant to make the laminated veneer. It used to be a plywood plant, and before that it was a sawmill, which cut dimensional lumber. So 2x4s, 2x6s, and so on. And then as time went on, you know, you have to evolve or close, and so it's evolved a couple times. It went from there to a plywood mill, and then from the plywood mill now it's gone to pretty much laminated veneer because the price of plywood during the COVID years became so high that nobody was buying it, so the company was able to remain open with the laminated veneer, so we're glad of that. Then I would say Canadian Pacific Railway is probably our next big industry here, or they employ a lot of people. They repair the train cars here in Golden. I don't mean all of the train cars, but in our division for sure of the railway they are repaired here at the repair depot in Golden. And then tourism is a big, I don't want to say new, because from the time that Golden really was established, people came to gawk and at the beautiful scenery and setting that we're in. We're in a beautiful valley with mountains all around us and some big mountains around us. And we are now not just known anymore. We were known for a long time for our hunting, so big game, elk, moose, deer, Rocky Mountain goats, sheep. We were known for that, and fishing, fly fishing for a long time. But it has definitely diversified. We have a beautiful ski resort here called Kicking Horse Mountain Resort, and they do a wonderful turnover of business. More recently, they put in a suspension bridge here in Golden, and that's drawing a lot of visitors and locals alike to go and experience all the things they have going on up there. So tourism has become big to our area. It still maintains that small town feel, which we're really proud of. Anyway, I've just been chattering away. I hope that that's okay. These now, I'm going to put them into the fridge or the freezer. I'll see which one they'll fit in. And I'm definitely going to refrigerate them for 20 minutes. I might not leave them quite that long in the freezer, but if I can get a pan into the fridge, which happens to be full, it'll be 20 minutes. And then I'm going to put them in that 350 degrees preheated oven, and I'm going to bake them for 10 minutes. Well, judge for yourself. 8 minutes, they'll still be quite sticky in the middle. I'd probably go 10 minutes, but if you like them a bit crispier, then go 12 minutes. I like them to just have a bit of chew in them, so I'm going to go right dead in the center at 10 minutes. So I'll see you back here with them when they're cooked and coming out of the oven. Well, here we are with these beautiful ginger cookies. Now, I went in there a bit early at the 10-minute mark, and I put my finger on the cookie and it deflated quite a bit. So I put 2 more minutes on it. And I think that you need that. So you kind of have to keep an eye, but this is a delicious recipe. I know that you probably can't see it, but the sugar that they're rolled in is just sparkling, and these make a wonderful treat to give. If you're using a cookie scoop, they stay relatively the same size, so you can package them nicely for gift giving, and people will really enjoy what you are giving to them. So that's it for today, folks. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and that if you have, you'll do all the things. Like, subscribe, comment. I love to read your comments. And for my friend Eddie, who came up with this idea, thank you so much, Ed. If the folks out there are looking for real estate in the most amazing place on earth, they should get a hold of Eddie. You can look Eddie up on just on the World Wide Web, but I'm going to leave his information in the description box below along with this recipe. So if you want to reach out to Ed, you could do that as well. Until next time, folks, take care. Bye-bye.